And that is how angry I am at Adam Stackhouse, Apraluski, Rudell, and Surya Butchwald. They should have been disqualified because they had music and more than one person in their Freakazoid video.
Alright, another video, another Sonichu issue to review. So, where we last left off, we finished off issue 1, where Sonichu and Sonic teamed up to defeat Team Rocket and a clone of Sonichu, simply called Black Sonichu, or Blatchu, while rescuing Rosachu in the process. So, there are 3 episodes in this issue, like the first 2 issues, but I think this time we're gonna be going over the whole thing in one video. Maybe this will take a while to record, but I'll try. Anyway, with issue 2, there's less of a focus on Sonichu and more of a focus on Chris this time. Sonichu is not only infamous for its bad art and terrible writing, but also for Chris making himself the main character in the comics a lot. It doesn't get more apparent until later on, but this is just basically the first case of Chris making himself the main character of the comic. Shifting the focus to a new character isn't bad itself, but the way Chris goes about it is odd, to say the least. But it's also not just the first time where Chris makes himself the main character, he also inserts people he personally knew from his real life, or people who supposedly wronged him in real life as villains, as we'll see in this issue. Also, just want to say real quick that I played around with my mic settings a bit, so you probably won't hear the whirring from my PC much, but my voice is probably still gonna sound a bit weird and I might pronounce things wrong. Partly because I'm bad at talking, and allergies have really been kicking my ass this year. Anyway, enough of that. Let's begin our review of Sonichu Issue 2.
I've been high and feeling like an outcast.
Okay, new issue, new cover. So, do you remember those 3 Sonichus from one of those pages of issue 0 that introduces the characters? Well, this is where they debut in the comic. Obviously, there's Christian Sonichu, but these other 2, Wesley Sonichu and Serhama Rosachu, we'll get into them later. But what you need to know right now is that they're both based on people from Chris's real life. Episode 7, Sonichu in Ancient Prophecy. In case you're listening to this and not watching this, yes, it really is ancient and not ancient because Chris thinks that's clever. Anyway, Sonichu is running and he comes across what's supposed to be a cave with 2 stone tablets with letters carved in them, but it more so looks like a boulder with 2 tombstones in front of it. Only the creature and his master of the prophecy may enter the Destiny Cave. Creature and master of prophecy? Yes, only those of the prophecy. What? Forgive me, for I am the keeper of the Destiny Cave. Oh my stars, you are the creature of the prophecy. We have much to discuss. Later.
So, let me get this straight, Sonichu. You found a cave and an old man guarding it. The old man elaborated.
Elaborated? Who would use the word elaborate in a conversation like this? I'm probably making a bigger deal out of this than I should, but I never, and I mean never, heard anyone use the word elaborate when using a word for someone explaining something to someone else. Or just in general, when someone would just be like, hey, I'm gonna elaborate this to you.
That you are the prophesized creature, and since I am your creator and father, I am the prophesized master. And I am able to receive a special power by entering the cave with you and the cave keeper. Is this true?
Yeah, I'd definitely be asking if this is legit also, since if this wasn't Sonichu, this would sound more like a ploy by the guy in the cave to mug Chris. I know it seems far-fetched, but with the cave carvings, I say it's worth a shot, father.
Okay.
Come, let's fulfill the prophecy. And oh, wow. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to catch my breath a few times. It was prophesied by the ancient masters that the reincarnation of our leader will take pen in hand and to combine a mouse and a hedgehog and give birth to a new electric creature. Then the leader will place his handmade medallion on the pedestal and release the powers that were his, as well as his ladies and rivals' powers. Wait, hold up. His ladies? Are they talking about Chris's lady or the rival's lady? We'll get to that later, but in the comic, the rival and the lady in question are dating. A power will transform you all into the electric creatures with variable powers of good, bad, and peace. Wait, powers of bad and peace? What? What does that mean? Also, an evil will strike the day the original electrical creature finds this cave. Only the released powers can defeat the evil. Okay, why is the prophecy dependent on Sonichu finding the cave so that the evil is released? I mean, what if instead of Sonichu, Chris found the cave before him? Also, if it's necessary for Sonichu to find the cave for the evil to be released, why didn't the ancient people just put a brick wall in front of the entrance to the cave or something? What? By finding this cave, I've released an evil? Boy, do I feel special.
Sonichu, it's not your fault.
The prophecy says otherwise, Chris.
So, to draw this evil, I have to release the ancient powers? I'll do it. So, I place my medallion on the pedestal, right?
That is correct, sire. And stand over there, and I'll perform the chants. Anas al kamop ork kabul I think I got that right. I don't know.
Whoa!
Father, I am the ancient leader of... Wait a minute, wait, is that... Oh. Uh-oh, the conversation starts from the right this time. Okay. Either it's Chris being unable to format a comic book correctly, as usual, or he was just reading manga at the time. I'm going with the former.
Where am I? Sonichu? Old man? What? Who are you?
I am the ancient leader of the Cherokee clan. Yes, the leader of a Native American clan would definitely have white skin and a crown with Pikachu ears.
Wow, I'm impressed.
And you are Christian Chandler, my reincarnation.
Yes,
Wait a minute. Oh, that's not the next speech bubble. Okay, so it was Chris just being bad at formatting comics, of course. With the powers you have released comes great responsibilities. Use your powers to help others, and yourself when necessary. Your rival will show up to fight you, but your lady friend will help you against him and the evil. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Now, to access your powers, place your hands on your Sonichu medallion, feel the powers within you, and say, Electric Hedgehog Powers! Try at once to return to Sonichu.
Thank you, Ancestor. I will do my best.
Take care, Christian.
Electric Hedgehog Power!
Sonichu medallion. And then Chris uses an entire page dedicated to this sort of magical girl transformation sequence. I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, it's definitely a transformation sequence drawn by Chris Chan. Chris Chan Sonichu! Father?
Sonichu? What?
Yeah, and it looks like you are too. Chris is what, Sonichu?
Where are my shirt sleeves? What? A tail? Mirror Sonichu?
Found one.
Gasp. I see. This must be part of my new powers. Cool.
Father? I'm pretty much freaked out by all this. Let's zap out of here.
Okay.
And then here, it shows the power of the other two Sonichus going to the houses of Wes Isley, whose age is unknown, and Sarah Hammer, who is 22. And if you remember, Sarah was in one of the classic strips featured in issue 0, and like I said in the video finishing off issue 0, Sarah is a real person from Chris's life, as is Wes. I'm going to have to partly take back what I said in the beginning of the video, with this issue being the first time that Chris inserts real people from his life into the comic, but at the same time, this is where it actually starts happening in the actual story. So that was episode 7 of Sonichu, and yeah, that was definitely another episode of Sonichu. Like, it's the same terrible art, same terrible writing and everything, you know, just standard Sonichu stuff, but not much really happened. Same can't be said for episode 8, so yeah, let's get into episode 8, because, oh, it is a ride. And then, before the next episode, there's an advertisement for Axe body spray.
After using Axe body spray, I felt scintily delicious and confident. Seriously. Wow, Sweetbolt, you smell great. Did you bathe?
No, my heart sweet. I use the Orion scent.
Then, may I orbit your belt?
Okay, this page is actually pretty funny because Chris used Axe body spray back then and he thought it was a substitute for bathing. There were these commercials for the Axe brand that showed off the quote-unquote Axe effect, which is if a guy sprayed himself with this, girls would flock to them. And let's just say this quote-unquote effect didn't really work for Chris. Hell, before one of the fake dates he went on with a troll, apparently he doused himself in Axe instead of bathing. And the troll said he smelled like rotten watermelons on the date. Episode 8. Christian Chandler in Chaos and Serenity. I went over the page and read the text bubbles, so I think I know the order. Okay, where am I? Who are you? What's going on?
Precisely! Your ancient power has been released. Now, you must seek and destroy your rival.
Rival? Who?
This is your rival, Christian Chandler. You two were rivals in previous lives, and you still are.
Okay, he did have a hint of jealousy against me anyway. What do I do?
Release the power of your fire shock pendant by centering your anger, and shout fire burn off! Transform now, and we'll begin training!
Okay, I think it's time for me to explain Chris's beef with Wes Isley. So, in Chris's life, Wes Isley was a guy who dated his childhood friend, Sarah Hammer. Chris got jealous of this to the point he demonizes Wes in the comic as a love rival, I guess. I say I guess because, as far as I'm aware, Chris and Wes haven't even spoken to each other at all. And to be honest, as far as Chris Chandler is concerned, I think it ends there when it comes to the real-life Wes Isley. He's a magician in real life, and he's quite talented. Also, I feel like I should mention this. I probably should start putting a disclaimer at the start of the Chris Chan related stuff, but don't go out of your way to contact Wes about Chris Chan. Support his channel and his work if you want, but don't go out of your way asking him about someone he most likely barely knew. Fire burn off. Fire shock pendant. Then another stupid transformation sequence that I really don't feel like going into detail about. Wesley Sonichu.
Let the training begin. Whoa, what happened to my room? Gasp, who are you?
I am the queen of the Cherokee clan. My husband was the leader.
Okay, why am I here?
The ancient powers of me, my husband, and his rival were just released. You have been bestowed the lightning bracelets.
I wonder why these things were on my arms.
You must use their power to bring serenity between my husband's reincarnation and his rival. Also, you three must work together to stop the evil that was also released.
How will I recognize your husband's soul?
His soul belongs to a friend of yours. Now, cross your bracelets and say, Graceful Lightning, to transform. I will teach you the powers. Then you must bring peace to the world, Sarah Hammer.
Wow, this is too much, but I guess this is destiny.
Okay, so Sarah Hammer. When Chris was a kid, Sarah was a neighbor of his, and he once considered her his best friend. Although a couple memories he has of her has Sarah play honestly a couple pretty mean pranks on him. One which involves her locking him under her house because she told him Casper the Friendly Ghost was living under there, and the other one, she tried to talk Chris into putting a honeysuckle into his mouth. Luckily, Sarah's parents stopped him. Yeah, I don't doubt that Chris has other fond memories of Sarah, but that is pretty concerning. There's no way of knowing if Sarah actually knows about the insanity involving Chris, and let's keep it that way. Like I said with Wes, let Sarah live her life. Do not go out of your way to contact her about Chris. Like, seriously, do not contact her.
Graceful Lightning.
Lightning bracelets. And it's just another transformation sequence. Smooch. Lightning bow. Sarama Rosachu.
Wonderful. There is so much to learn.
Meanwhile. Oh, I thought I was done with the map scopes, but nope, no I'm not. Anyway, Sonichu and Chris Chan are still at the Destiny Cave, and there's a rough terrain, I guess? I don't know. And also, Giovanni's gym, or his base, is nearby for whatever reason.
Thank you, Sonichu, for helping me learn my new powers. electric attacks, hyper beam, and my speed.
No sweat, Dad.
But I just can't figure out what I need to do to change back to normal.
Don't worry about it too much, Pop. We'll figure it out eventually.
Wow.
Wow, all I did was touch your chest mark and you changed back. What do you know?
Yeah, thanks.
You know, the drawing of Sonichu touching Chris's chest like that is already pretty uncomfortable, but considering what happened in 2021, yeah, this really doesn't help.
Meanwhile,
Your training is complete, Wesley. Now be gone to destroy Christian.
Aha, there he is.
a little ways off.
The Queen said I'd find them around here somewhere.
Another map scope? Why? Why? There's not even a reason for one.
Alright, Chris, get ready for a barbecue.
Fire blast.
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
The last thing you want in your Burger King burger.
I wonder where. What the?
I'll tell you what.
Yes! Father, look out!
Then Sonichu saves Christian.
Boom!
Wow, what a blast. Thank you, Sonichu.
That's okay, Father.
I saw that. That guy fired on that man down. Oh my gosh, that's Chris. Thank goodness his Sonichu saved him. But who?
I'll get him this time.
Okay, real talk here. Why does Wes even need to consider Chris a rival at all if he's already dating Sarah? Is it because the Sonichu Pope is just really good at convincing people of stuff they don't actually believe? Or is it because Chris is a petty man-child who believes he's entitled to Sarah and has to make himself look like the good guy in this comic? And then, oh, what is happening here? Did Wes just become like the son from Teletubbies or something? What is happening here?
What the? Sonichu, run!
You don't have to tell me twice, but during the Stone Age...
Okay, this joke for so long, nobody knew what this meant, and I don't have a screenshot of Chris explaining the joke or a clip of it, but apparently the joke is that you'll have to explain something to cavemen twice because they're stupid. It's still a pretty lame joke even with the context. Anyway, Chris Chan and Sonichu react to the collision, and I guess Wes jumps out of the hole. I think that's what's happening anyway.
Wow, it's getting tense. I'll use my bracelet's power to hear them.
I see. As described in the prophecy, I'm guessing that you also have a secret identity. If so, who are you really?
Okay, I'll give you a clue.
I think I'm getting a clue. Really? Yeah, this is totally giving me a clue right now.
Your friend sat on my lap, and you had a jealous look on your face.
No, not Wes Isley.
You are correct.
Who do you think you are for attacking us?
I am your rival, Wesley Sonichu.
Yeah, Wes, I think Chris already knows that you're his rival.
Gasp. No, I don't believe this.
Okay, I'll admit that I was jealous of you because you get to spend more time with Sarah than I do.
Yeah, that's what happens with intimate relationships, Chris.
But I only felt jealousy because I cared about her. The reason I kept it inside me for all this time was that I wanted her to be happy, all things considered. After all, I respect her feelings, and if she feels happier with you, then I am...
Yeah, nah, I'm not reading the rest of that text bubble. Chris, it's kind of too late to be all like, oh, I'm happy as long as she's happy with you, when you've been making Wes the bad guy in your comic and yourself out to be the good guy. Shut up.
Hey, I'm pouring my heart about how I care for my best friend, while you dig into your pot of greed.
Yeah, whatever. My ancestor of the Wasabi clan.
Wasabi clan? You know what? I don't really know anything about the actual Cherokee culture, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut with this one.
Wanted to rule the world, and the only way to do that was to steal the Cherokean crown from you lousy Cherokees. For centuries, we of the Wasabi clan cried trails of tears because we were never able to kill the king of the Cherokee clan to get the marvelous Cherokean crown. Enough talk. Time to fight.
He's coming fast. I need time to retransform. Good thing I laid this card down. Activate trap card, magic cylinder.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it started as early as this, but I forgot Chris had a Yu-Gi-Oh phase while making these comics. Then I guess Wes accidentally hits himself with the magic cylinder.
Electric hedgehog power.
He was jealous for me. That's so sweet.
No, being jealous of someone for getting into a relationship with your crush isn't sweet, nor is it an attractive quality. It can be understandable, like, you know, jealousy is pretty natural, and I can't say much about relationships because I've never been in an intimate relationship myself, but I know being jealous of someone's relationship is definitely not something to brag about. That's the mindset only an incel would have. And that's really it. This love triangle thing Chris is doing with Sarah and Wes is just an incel fantasy he's having in his comic. Remember back in the second part of the issue 0 review when I said Chris has major nice guy syndrome? Well, this is what I meant. If you're familiar with r/nice guys, you would know that these are the kind of guys who will go on about how nice and sweet the nerds are, aka them most of the time, how the jocks are jerks and treat girls like shits, and how the females don't give the nice guys a chance and only want the bad boys. But when they do get a date or come into contact with a woman in any way, they will eventually reveal that they are a creepy, douchey, petulant, narcissistic tool. But yeah, Chris fits the nice guy mentality to a T. In fact, you could say he was the first case of a nice guy before the term was even invented. Anyway, Chris transforms back into Christian Sonichu.
Hey, Wes, are you okay? How many life points do you have left?
Then Wes is angry. Flamethrower.
Whoa! Ow! Stop! Drop and roll! You burned my tail! Now it's personal! Mach punch!
Mega kick.
Kamehameha!
Missed. Sky uppercut. How many life points do you have left? Thanks for the crown. That's it. I can't take it anymore.
You know, one thing I forgot to bring up is, how did Sarah not know who Wes was until he basically told Chris his name? Like, you know, they're dating, so shouldn't she recognize his voice?
Now it's time to say goodbye, Chris.
Oh my gosh, yes, please!
Precisely.
Damn it!
Ow. Where did this non-sacred tree come from?
Apparently this is supposed to be an Inuyasha reference.
Wow, she must be the Lady of Peace, as described in the prophecy.
To be continued.
Well, that was Sonichu episode 8, and wow. Like, that was actually the worst episode of this comic so far. It has the usual terrible art and dialogue that we've seen from Sonichu so far, but Chris inserting himself and his real-life issues into the story make it so much worse. Like, that whole spiel that Chris goes on about how much he cares about Sarah, that actually gave me secondhand embarrassments. There's also inserting Yu-Gi-Oh stuff into it for whatever reason when Chris and Wes weren't even in a duel before. And by the way, the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff isn't gonna last very long. Anyway, let's move on with Sonichu episode 9.
Oh man, I wanna kill you.
There's another ad, and wow, this is probably the worst drawing of Sonichu by Chris so far. Sonichu has been pretty poorly drawn so far, but the way he's drawn here in particular, like, I don't know why I'm so bothered by this. I just think he just looks really bad here in particular. Episode 9. Chris Chan, Sarama, and Wes Lee in the evil that stomped Quickville.
Here, Chris, I think this belongs to you.
Thank you. Who are you?
My hedgehog name is Sarama. Excuse me. Where's Osley? I had given you my heart and soul, and you dare to harm my best friend.
Gasp. Sarah?
Okay, going back to the point I made before, did Chris not recognize Sarah's voice? It's kind of a pet peeve of mine with stories that when a character is nearby and they're wearing their hero outfit or in another form, they're talking to a friend of theirs and that friend can't make out it's them from their voice.
I can't believe you would do a thing like that, but you did. I should have never hooked up with you.
Hooked up. Sarah, is that you? Gasp.
Sarah takes the lightning arrow she shot into Wes.
Yes, Wes. And I say that we are through. I do not love you anymore.
Then she rips the arrow out.
No. I should leave you bound to that tree, but the three of us are destined to destroy the evil being that is lurking somewhere. Ow. I hurt in 3 places.
I'm gonna guess 2 of the 3 things are his heart and soul, so... What's the 3rd thing, Chris?
Oh yeah, the prophesized evil. I wonder where it'll strike.
Father!
Yes, Sonichu?
I just got a call from Rosie. There was a rock monster destroying Quickville.
This must be the evil. Sonichu, go on ahead. We'll catch up.
Okay.
Sarah, there's a rock monster destroying the city of Quickville. It may be the evil.
Oh no. Then we have no choice. We have to go destroy it. Chris, stay there, next to Wes.
And here, Chris does as he's told, and Sarah shoots 2 lightning bolt arrows from her bow. Then Chris, Wes, and Sarah are enveloped by magic bubbles, I think, but they kind of look like the bubbles that Tails and Knuckles get in the final boss of Sonic Heroes.
What?
Let's fly. Chris, which way is Quickville?
Right, Sarah. About 25 miles, due north, that way.
Alright. Whoa. This is the best levitation trick ever. Whoa.
Oh, Chris, you just can't get enough of the map scopes, can't you?
Moments ago.
The city of Quickville, a vibrant community with happy people, cool chicks, business, and a frustrated male. Damn, I wonder who that is. Crash. What's going on? Oh no, it's a giant golem monster and that witch, Mary Lee Walsh. Wait, is that giant Robo?
Ha ha. I can shatter many hearts with this golem.
And will take over the world.
You bet, ancient spirit.
The Cherokee and Wasabi clans may have put me away for centuries, but I will rule the world. Minutes later, oh no, that thing is huge. We have to take it down. Chris, you know this world. Any ideas?
I think so. Sarah, shoot some arrows into its eyes. Wes, fire up its knees. Those things always have weak knees.
How do you know that, Chris? Is this not your first time fighting one of these things?
I'll go for its heart spot. Let's...
Oh, my heart was broken, and I don't know what's going on. What's the point?
Buck up. My heart was previously shattered, and I'm not complaining.
Chris, you have complained so many times about wanting a girlfriend in some of your own videos before making this issue. Take your own advice. Also, we're not there yet, but issue 4 is literally just Chris venting about not having a girlfriend and more of his incel wish fulfillment.
We have to destroy the monster before it destroys the city. Let's move.
Meanwhile,
Sonichu, Father, if you are all involved in fighting that monster, please be careful.
And of course, Rosicru is doing nothing. You know, I've given Amy Rose shit before, but you know what? At least in the first adventure game and some cutscenes in Adventure 2, she actually contributed to the story a bit. Unlike Rosicru, who just stands around and does nothing, while Sonichu and Chris do all the fighting. And while I did get annoyed by Amy's personality, she at least had more personality before the meta era. Unlike Rosicru, who was just there to stand around and act as a cheerleader or damsel in distress for Sonichu and Chris. And you know what? As much as I didn't enjoy playing as her in Adventure, Amy was a moderately better character than Rosicru because unlike Amy, who was at worst overbearing to tolerable at best, Rosicru is probably the most boring female character I've seen in any fiction!
I'm not yelling because I'm angry. I'm yelling because I'm on acid!
You know what, let's just go ahead and put up a tally. Let's start a tally of how many times Rosicru just does nothing. Okay, going through the previous issues now, and that is 5 times, starting now. Then on this page, Chris, Wes, and Sarama are fighting the poor man's version of Giant Robo. And in the next page, they blew a hole through Giant Robo.
Let's finish this! Team Blast! Blue Fireball attack!
And then with that, the 3 hedgehogs defeat Giant Robo. He'll say though, what is with his body in this panel? He literally looks like he has a rectangle as his body now.
No! You 3 may have thwarted our plans, but we will meet again, for I am Count Graduon.
That orb is talking? The evil we're supposed to destroy is him, and Merrily Walsh has his cage?
Until another day, hedgehogs.
And Merrily Walsh runs away.
No use in chasing them now, since we will meet again.
Yeah, it definitely won't be on us if they hurt a bunch of innocent people because we let them get away.
Father, I got here as fast as I could, but it looks like I'm late.
Don't worry about it, Sonichu. We 3 saved the day. Sarah, Wes, and me.
And they de-transform into their human selves.
So, Chris, how do we get back to Ruckersville from here?
There's a warp portal in my mayoral office at Quickville Mall. I'll get us a cab.
Beep, beep, epilogue. Later, in Christian's room.
Are you okay, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I just feel concerned since you broke up with Wes.
Don't worry about it, Chris. We've had previous disputes. Besides, he did lack something.
I see. So, do you have someone else in mind, or are you going to take it easy for a while?
Well, I did have someone else in mind. He's big, strong, and handsome.
Really? Does he have a name?
Yes, his name is William.
Don't!
Wait, so Sarah already has someone else to date right after she broke up with Wes? Does that mean she's been cheating on Wes behind his back already and she just used him hurting Chris as a scapegoat? Or maybe it's because in real life, by the time Chris was drawing the last couple pages, Sarah was already dating someone else.
Well, as long as he makes you feel happy. If he ever lets you down and out, just come to me. You might cry on my shoulder as much as you need.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your concern.
Don't be a stranger. Please be sure to stop by for a visit whenever you're in the neighborhood. It's always great to have you around, best friend. I, Christian Weston Chandler, dedicate this page to my lifelong friend, Sarah Hammer. We've known each other since we were about 2 years old. I now present some of our fun times together. We shared fun on our swing set. We enjoyed the slide and eventually swings. We both really had fun chatting on the swing built for 2. One time, she tried to teach me to roller skate, but I fell, cried, and gave up. It hurt a bit. Hide and
Seed. Oh, that is an unfortunate misspelling.
was always worth a laugh, counting at the tree, finding, and tagging before reaching her front door. Our last childhood memory was before I moved to Richmond for middle and high schools. We hit the T-ball, and I told her the sad news, but even after moving, I never forgot my best friend. Currently, I don't get to see he as much as I did, because she found herself a boyfriend while I was in Richmond. But I often wonder how she is, and if she is happy with him. I share my troubles with her in my illustrations, letters, and over the phone. I always appreciate the little moments I have with her.
And then there's sub-episode 3, but again, that's in issue 4, so we'll get to that when we get to that. And now, we are done with Sonichu issue 3. This is definitely the longest video I made so far, and to be honest, I had more fun with this than the other Sonichu videos I've done so far. I mean, reading the comic isn't fun, but making fun of it and doing different voices for the characters is. But yeah, this was kind of what we've come to expect out of Sonichu so far, but Chris inserting his real life problems into the comic just makes it worse. It just feels so gross, and this isn't the peak of Chris's incel power fantasy, but it's just kind of a preview of what's to come. We'll be seeing a lot of that power fantasy in issue 4, and let me tell ya, No promises, but we're probably gonna have a field day with that issue. But yeah, this video is already pretty long as it is, so I think I'm just gonna wrap it up now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. And this has been Jade from Cynical Shark Clone Productions, signing out.